thing I don't think Nintendo gets nearly enough credit for is their RPGs. I mean, they create Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and even a handful starring Mario of all people. Their RPGs are easy to pick up and simple to understand, but they don't sacrifice any depth, with Exhibit A being Pokemon Black and White and its very, very good story. And several years ago, I got my hands on a copy of another Nintendo RPG, EarthBound. EarthBound is a wacky, bizarre, bonkers game that stars Ness and a bunch of other children who are destined to save the world from a bunch of fetuses. If you know, you know. And let me tell you, there is not nearly enough evidence in this world to convince me that this game isn't based purely in the imaginations of the main character. Either that, or the police need to get involved with their parents. Okay, I didn't mean like that. Jiminy Christmas. Now, the gameplay of Mother 2 is very simple, containing minimal combat animations, a basic interface, and a ton of walking. What this means is there's not a lot to go off of for Ness's class, but there is enough to get a pretty solid argument for the Sorcerer class. Sorcerers have proficiencies in quarterstaffs, and while this is a bit of a stretch, Ness's first weapon is a baseball bat. Now, for actual evidence, I'm going to appeal to the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide. Sorcerers carry a magical birthright, conferred upon them by exotic bloodline or exposure to unknown cosmic forces. When you start the game, Ness is unable to cast any spells, of any kind, just none of them, no magic, until after a meteor hits a mountain in his town of Onet. After this event, Ness is able to learn spells, with a quote along the lines of Ness realized the power of healing. The term realized implies to me that Ness suddenly noticed that he could perform magical attacks. And the thing that sets sorcerers apart from other spellcasters such as wizards is that they don't get their magic from study or patrons or gods. Sorcerers are able to instinctively use magic, or as the book puts it, unlike other characters who must actively learn, embrace, and pursue their talents, sorcerers have their power thrust upon them. The only other bit of evidence that I have is from the spellcasting ability of sorcerers, which is charisma. Ness is able to convince strangers and friends to follow him to some pretty inhospitable places, such as his nervous, lazy dog to the mountaintop. This shows potential leadership skills, and as a result, potential high charisma. That being said, there isn't a lot to go off of, so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about his class. Is there more evidence I didn't notice, or would Ness be a different class? Let me know in the comments, and tune in next time to Out of Initiative.